You're tuning into the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, the only wrestling podcast covering WWE, AEW, and TNA. Let's get uncooked, uncorked, and uncensored.
What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, The Hot Commodity, Ant C.
And I'm here, too.
I'm joined by my own personal hot commodity, Ant B. And today we are covering WWE NXT Great American Bash 2025 live in Atlanta, Georgia. And we noticed when we first turned it on that the arena was pretty small. There weren't that many people there.
I just realized I forgot who won the main event.
I know. What do you mean? What the main event was the Fatal Influence versus Jordynne and Blake Monroe.
Oh. It wasn't,
No.
Oh, that's at TNA. I keep getting that confused.
Yeah.
That three-way. That's why I was like, we didn't see that match.
Now you're joining us. Hello. You've made it back to this earth.
Yeah.
Anyways. No, the main event was Fatal Influence versus Jordynne and Blake Monroe. So the arena was pretty small. Probably small. Is it? I don't think it's not the same arena as Saturday night's main event. But
No, definitely not. I looked it up and it only holds 1,300 people.
Yeah. But I thought
it was so small that, like, the ramp was like, you could have jumped from the beginning of the ramp into the ring if you really tried.
Yeah. But I thought that the matches are pretty good for this show. Our first match, Jasper Troy taking on Javon Evans. And it's funny because we saw him on an LFG, and now he's actually in the ring competing. And he's doing pretty good stuff, you know? Like, if you didn't know that he never fought, if you didn't know that he...
Jasper Troy?
Yeah, that he never fought before, like, in a pro wrestling environment, that, you know, he's good.
Yeah, he is good.
So Javon Evans slaps Jasper Troy to start and then punches him in the corner. Troy rams Evans across the apron and then tosses Evans over the ropes to the floor. Troy lands a splash and then a splash to the back of Evans. Evans attacks Troy in the corner and hits a springboard clothesline for a 2 count. Evans dives onto Troy on the floor, and then Troy hits a choke slam, runs into Evans, but Evans rolls up Jasper Troy and defeats him. Javon Evans gets the win here. What do you think of this one?
This was a good match. I liked. I thought it was like very, very realistic because Javon Evans didn't really overpower Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy kind of like fucked him up the whole time, but as a rookie, like, you know, it took a simple mistake, but so I like the way that played out. Like, he was very dominant, and it was cool to watch. It was good.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good opening match, and I agree with you that, like, they let Troy be dominant for a bit, probably because he was going to lose, so you don't want him to look like a pussy, you know? But
yeah.
He had a good opening.
And he does it. He looks like he's really powerful, but makes little mistakes. Like, and that's what a rookie would do. So.
Yeah. We find out that someone has stolen Channing Stacks Lorenzo's Heritage Cup. We do see in a vignette later, which we fast forward through. It's actually Tony D'Angelo who stole it, and he tosses it in the river. So that cup is gone. Tony D'Angelo was with Crucifino, and Stacks will compete in a triple threat match on NXT this Tuesday. We then have the NXT Women's North American Champion, Sol Ruca, with Zarya defending against Izzi Dame with Tatum Paxley. Paxley slaps Zarya on the floor. Dame hits a sky high to Sol for a 2 count. Sol hits a Hurricane Rana off the steps to Izzi on the floor. Izzi drops Ruca across the ropes, lands a gut buster and a backdrop. Ruca lands a backstabber and a moonsault to the floor. Dame lands a flying code breaker for a 2 count. Sol Ruca lands a springboard X Factor. Dame chokeslams Sol Ruca off the ropes to the mat. Ruca lands a spear, but Tatum Paxley put Izzi Dame's foot on the ropes during the pinfall. Zarya spears Tatum Paxley on the floor, and Ruca hits the Soul Snatcher to defeat Izzi Dame here. I thought Izzi Dame looked really, really good. I didn't really see a lot of her before, and I thought she really held her own against Sol Ruca. And Sol is good, but she is, because a lot of her moves are aerial, she sometimes trips a lot, but that's bound to happen. Zarya and Tatum Paxley being involved, that's going to lead to their match at Evolution. Or not Tatum Paxley, it's not going to be an Evolution, but there's going to be issues.
But I think the right person won. Like,
Mhm.
I like Ruca, and I wanted to see her defend her belt.
Oh, so I forgot to mention this earlier. With the first match, I want to kind of give grades. I give the first match like a C. Well, no, I give it a B because it made Jasper Troy look good. This match, I give a B too because it was good.
Yeah.
NXT North American Champion All Ego Ethan Page defending against Ricky Saints. Saints spears Ethan Page before the bell and hits Ethan Page in the back with kendo stick shots. Saints jumps off the railing with a fish drop to the back of Ethan Page. They fight in the lobby and Ethan Page rams Ricky Saints into a pillar and applies a Boston Crab. Saints slams Ethan Page through a table at the WWE shop area and gets a 2 count. Page puts the chair around Saint's neck and rams him into the post for a 2 count. That was a crazy shot there. Saint slams the railing on top of Ethan Page on the floor and then jumps off the top and slams Ethan Page onto a steel chair in the ring. Page backdrops Saints across the edge of the steel chairs that he has set up and then suplexes Ricky Saints onto the railing for a 2 count, and that looked bad. Saints bites Page on the top rope and lands a super power bomb onto a group of chairs for a 2 count, and then the two men fight backstage. Page pushes Ricky Saints into Jasper Troy, and then Jasper Troy chokeslams Saints on top of a crate, and then Saints lands a tornado DDT on the ramp to Ethan Page for a 2 count, and then the end comes when Ethan Page lands an Ego's Edge to Ricky Saints off the stage through tables, and Ethan Page retains here. I thought this was the best match of the night.
I agree.
They weren't too like hardcore, but they were hardcore enough to where like it wasn't over the top.
Yeah.
Jasper Troy did get involved, but Ricky Saints did recover from it. It wasn't like it was the end for him there.
But I think that will lead into
a Jasper Troy thing. That, or he's going to jump to the main roster because there's really no more rivalry with Ethan Page. But I do think it's going to lead to Jasper Troy and Ricky Saints. But I give this match an A. I thought they both did really good.
Maybe Ricky Saints will beat him for the title and then he'll go up too.
Mm-hmm. And these are two former AEW guys having the best match of the night. So
Ethan Page was in AEW?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Next up, Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and the TNA Champion Trick Williams come out for their contract signing for their match at Slammiversary, which is on the 20th. Mike Santana says, Trick Williams, you've taken that title for granted. You use it for ego. I see it as respect, something you used to have. I think you've gotten soft. Next week, we're going to find out if Hollywood Trick is all sizzle and no steak. Joe, I respect you, but at the end of the day at Slammiversary, I will bring the title back to its roots. And then Joe Hendry says, Mike, I respect you, and I respect that you want to bring the TNA title back to its roots, but I want to take it to new heights. I will not be distracted by you. Trick, you use people as a human shield. At Slammiversary, no one will protect you. You will be behind enemy lines. I will make you believe in Joe Hendry. And then Trick Williams says, yeah, good now. Enjoy this moment. Let me give you advice. When you talk to your champion, you put respect on my name. I'm carrying 2 brands right now. I don't need help to whoop both of y'all asses. It will always be Trick and A. And then Joe Hendry says, Mike and I don't agree on a lot, but that TNA title is coming home, and you talk too much. And then Mike Santana and Joe Hendry double power bomb TNA Champion Trick Williams through at the announce table. I thought this was a really good segment. I thought that it made me want to see who's going to win at TNA. They all made very good points there. But what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was a good teaser for sure. Mm-hmm. And I like how the 2 TNA guys are like, well, I'm better, no, I'm better, but they agree that it's got to come home. And I almost feel like maybe that will be part of, I'm pretty sure they're going to team up with each other against Trick. So I don't think Trick is going to remain the champion. But this whole storyline was really good. And I think it was good for TNA to have a WWE person as champion. And it will bring a lot of new watchers.
After the segment ends, the lights go out, and Darkstate attacks Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. So we're gonna see. I think I don't know if it's a 6-man on NXT, but I know they're gonna compete this Tuesday on NXT. Next, we have the NXT champion Oba Femi defending against Yoshiki Inumura with Josh Briggs. Oba chops Yoshiki on the apron, and then Yoshiki stomps Oba Femi off the apron to the floor. Yoshiki hits a spinning slam for a 2 count. Oba lands a gut buster for a 2. Yoshiki lands a German bridging suplex for a 2 count. Oba uppercuts Yoshiki into the referee. Josh Briggs nails Oba Femi with the NXT Championship. Yoshiki sees this happen and he hits a flying splash, but the referee is out. Yoshiki tells Josh Briggs to leave. Oba Femi lands a choke slam for a 2. Yoshiki hits a sit-out power bomb for a 2 count, but then Oba Femi hits the fall from grace and Oba retains the NXT Championship. I thought this was a good match. Two big guys going at it. Yoshiki was very strong. You didn't expect that from him. But I give it a B out of a B right now. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it could have been better, I think. But and afterwards, really quick before you give me your comments, Yoshiki apologizes to Oba Femi for Josh Bridges' attack in the ring, and then Josh Briggs confronts Oba Femi, and I think they're going to fight on NXT. But that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, it could have been better, but they both were like, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of Yoshiki, but like the way the announcers were talking about him, it seems like he's kind of like a powerhouse type guy, and he is pretty big. So they definitely did some cool stuff. And I have a quick question about what you said about the last match. So is not Ethan, is Trick?
I think he's teaming.
Is it going to be the 3 of them?
I think.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That'll be really interesting. Okay.
Well, our main event, we have Fatal Influence, which is Fallon Henley and the NXT Women's Champion Jacy Jayne with Jasmine Nix in their corner, taking on Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe, and this is Blake's debut match at NXT. Grace lands a modified slam to Fallon Henley, and then slams Blake Monroe onto Henley for a 2 count. Blake hits a spinning side slam to Fallon for a 2. Jordynne lands a double Northern Light suplex. Jacy Jayne lands a pump kick to Jordynne Grace on the floor. And then Jordynne Nix kicks Blake Monroe on the floor, and Jacy Jayne lands a cannonball to Blake. Fallon spears Jordynne Grace, and then Jasmine continues to get involved. So TNA Women's Knockout Champion Masha Slamovich comes out and attacks Jasmine Nix. She will take on the winner of the NXT title match at Evolution at Slammiversary. And then Blake Monroe hits Jacy Jayne with a double underhook DDT, and Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace get the win, with Blake pinning the current NXT Women's Champion. What did you think of this main event? Oh, before you give me that, I give it like a C. I thought Fallon Henley did really good. Jacy Jayne sucks, in my opinion. I like her as a person. I'm sure she's a great person, but she's a transitional champion. Jordynne Grace is definitely going to win Evolution, but Blake Monroe is on the come up. What did you think?
Yeah, it was decent. I mean, there wasn't like, I have to say there was like a better build up to this than there was at anything at Saturday night's main event. At least like we had a side, and like there was some type of story to it. No, the match was not wonderful, but it was okay. I think that either Ethan and Ricky or Oba and Yoshiki should have been the main event.
Yeah.
I don't think this belonged in the main event, but it did have the most build.
Yeah. Well, overall, I give this pay-per-view a C. I mean, it could have been better. There's only like one match that really stood out, and that was Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, and it should have been better in my opinion.
Yeah,
it was decent. Well, we've covered all of Great American Bash. We're currently watching AEW All In, so we'll definitely give you coverage of that shortly. We also will be giving you coverage of Saturday night's main event, and we have Evolution taking place in an hour. So we'll be covering that as well. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell. And until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.
All right.